presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Exactly 1 year ago today, where Michael Fulmer walked into Arlington and dominated the Rangers. A complete game 4 hitter with 9 punch-outs. Hopefully more of the same here tonight. Welcome to Globe Life Park. It is game 1 in this 3-game series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. We are glad to have you with us here for game 1 of the series. And 1 year ago today, Rod, man, Fulmer walked in here and he owned this place.
Can't make this stuff up. How about that? To the day. I mean, when he dealt in this particular ballpark last year, for me, I know you were here. I did not make that trip to Texas, but that was kind of like his coming out party. I think that's when most of us started to believe this guy was truly the best young pitcher in baseball.
All right, now what can we expect from Michael tonight? Coming off the disabled list, had the tingling in the fingers, had the elbow problem. They say he's 100%. Looking forward to it.
Well, he must be 100% because, you know, they would err on the side of caution with this product of a pitcher with Michael Fulmer. Michael said the only pitch that gave him difficulty in the start against the Yankees on the 31st of July was the changeup. Didn't affect the slider, didn't affect the fastball. It was the changeup, and it was also the first time he had felt some tingling in the ring finger. He constantly feels tingling in the pinky during the course of the season, but that's after starts. But this time he experienced it during the game. That's why they put him on the disabled list, but it's good to see him back out there. But we'll watch him closely here tonight, and I'm sure the Tigers will too.
All right, now every night we get to see a future Hall of Famer in Miguel Cabrera. He is not in the lineup tonight, but the Rangers do have a future Hall of Famer in their lineup, and that's Adrian Beltre.
You know, when I think of Adrian Beltre, he's 37 years old. He's been in the big leagues nearly 2 decades. This guy has as much fun as any young player in the game. He's always got a smile on his face. Take a look at the damage that he has done since the All-Star break. 343 average, lots of extra base hits. He's driving in runs. Of course, he got his 3,000th hit just a couple of weeks ago right here, doubled down the left field line. And something else to note about Adrian Beltre, since he's put on the Texas Rangers uniform, he is batting .420 against Tigers pitching. So they really need to maneuver around him very cautiously, but he is awfully fun to watch.
All right, game 1 in the series just minutes away, but right now we send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Here's John Keating. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Jeep. See your Jeep dealer today and experience the freedom that comes with legendary capability. Back here at Globe Life Park, we're in Arlington, Texas tonight. It is game one in this series. Tigers and the Rangers getting together on a very steamy evening here in Arlington. And the Tigers a very short 3-game series to kick off this road trip. We'll check out the starting lineup. It is presented tonight by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And for Brad Ausmus, it looks like this. Ian Kinsler back in the lineup. He missed the ball game yesterday. He'll lead off and play second base. Matuk in center, Upton in the left. Your middle three tonight: Castellanos, Hicks, and Victor Martinez. And then you've got McCann, Presley, and Iglesias in the bottom three spots in the lineup. Tigers facing Martin Perez tonight, presented by the Office of Highway Safety.
And for the most part, Martin Perez has not had a good year. 6-10 with a 5.18 ERA. However, in his last outing 5 days ago against the Mets, he pitched probably his best game of the year. 8 innings in that particular contest. He has all 4 pitches. He loves to throw his changeup. As a matter of fact, he'll throw that changeup 20% of the time. Let's take a look at the Rangers starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left to right, it reads Gallo, Robinson, Mazzaro. They've got a lot of power in their outfield, especially with the guys on the corner in Gallo and Mazzaro. Beltre, Andrews, Odor, and Napoli in the infield. And Chirinos is the starting catcher tonight.
Tigers had some nice weather on the homestand, but it is very warm. We expect it will be warm here the next 3 days. Ian Kinsler glad to be back in the lineup after being hit on the hand by a pitch. He missed yesterday's game. Not really 100%, but you know Kinsler, he's a gamer, and he's back in there tonight.
Ian Kinsler caught up with Johnny Kane today in a Tigers Live pregame show and told him he had a chance to go to his favorite sushi restaurant last night. And when the team landed, and it's always a good thing when you're able to sleep in your own bed, take the kids to school and whatnot.
Ian, of course, played here from 06 until 13, so he still makes his home here in the Arlington area, and he is ready to settle in now. It'll be Kinsler, Matuk, and Upton. Tigers trying to get it going here. They dropped a tough one yesterday to the Twins. Martin Perez ready to go to work, and the first one is high and away, 1-0. Perez, a 26-year-old. He's out of Venezuela. The 1-0 pitch. Ooh, Ian, you could tell, did not really look comfortable on that last swing.
Yeah, it does not look like the hand that he was hit on a couple of days ago is going to allow him to be at full strength here tonight, judging by that first swing.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kinsler. And he'll look at a strike on the outer edge. 1-2 on the Tigers leadoff man. Perez coming off his best outing in his last start against the New York Mets. And Kinsler bounces one to short, right at Elvis Andrus. And 1 gone here in the Tigers first. It'll bring up Mikey Matuk. Mikey batting .298 and 8 home runs this year. It's been a whale of a second half for him. He was held hitless in yesterday's ball game.
He batted in the leadoff spot yesterday for the first time this year with Ian Kinsler nursing that sore hand for that game yesterday.
And he had a 5-game streak in which he had at least 2 hits or more in every game, but that came to a halt in the ball game yesterday. Did reach on an error and score a run. Now Perez with the 1-0 pitch. Line to right field, sinking. It'll drop. Base hit. Mikey Matuk just keeps getting it done. 1 on, 1 out.
And the one thing that Mikey Matuk has done since he's been sizzling hot when the calendar turned to June, he just takes what you give him. That was a 93 tailing fastball away from him. Looked like it might have been 2 inches off the plate. He simply went with the pitch and drove it the opposite way.
It'll bring up Justin Upton now, who ironically does not have very good numbers in this ballpark.
Yeah, they're bad.
I mean, you would think a guy like J-Up, with the way he lost the ball, would have a few homers, high batting average. Only 128 in this ballpark career.
In 12 games. But the way that he's been swinging the bat all year, and also killing left-handers this year, is Justin Upton.
Upton, 22 home runs. He had a big homestand in which he hit .438. And they play him to pull, giving up the right side of the infield. Grounded foul, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I told you that Martin has all 4 pitches. His fastball tops out at about 95, but his average heater anywhere from 92 to 93. He likes his curve and his slider, but it's the changeup that he tries to get swings and misses on.
Now Perez with the 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. Off speed out in front there was Upton.
86 with that changeup, came out of his hand very nicely.
Perez, 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run in his last start. He just shut down the Mets at Citi Field. Did not walk anybody in that game.
Another changeup. Chirinos wants him to bounce it.
Just got a piece to stay alive. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, simply bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you get yourself a free small order of curly fries. 1-2 on Upton. J-Up trying to settle into the batter's box. Chirinos flashing the signals for Perez. And the 1-2. Missed it inside, busted him in, but it was off the plate. 2-2.
You don't see many catchers these days wearing the colored fingers that Chirinos is wearing these days. He's got a couple different colors. Pardon. Remember, we always thought guys polish their nails, but they got some stickers. They just put on their fingers, and it gives the pitchers something better to look at. You got pink, you got yellow.
Technology, man. Here's the 2-2. Way outside, 3-2, snap throw, and back in there is Matuk.
And Chirinos likes to do that. And so when you're on first base, the Tigers are well aware of that because Mikey Matuk was not caught off guard. And Chirinos loves to pick behind the runner at first. Saw Brad shaking his head. That must have meant that Mikey Matuk is not going to be running on this 3-2 pitch.
Runner holds, and it's skied in the air to center field and deep. Robinson going back to the wall. He looks up, and it is gone.
Look out, J.Up.
A 2-run shot for Justin Upton, and the Tigers have an early lead.
So much for batting 128 in this yard in his career.
Does not matter one bit with the way he's been swinging the bat lately.
That is 62 RBI for Justin Upton in his last 62 games. Can you believe that?
No. It has been an incredible stretch run for him. 23 homers on the year now for Upton, who hit it to dead center.
He got him a changeup, and he waited on it perfectly like he knew it was coming, and he got to the proper slot with a nice launch angle, and every time J-Up makes contact, the hit speed is well above 100 miles per hour. Everything down, down, down. He left that changeup up.
444 feet for Justin Upton on that homer.
There is no part of the ballpark that is safe these days when Justin Upton's in that batter's box. Power to right, power to center, tremendous power to left.
Ground ball to short. Castellanos hits it right to Andrews, and there are 2 gone. It'll bring up Hicks. So Perez, who shut out the Mets through 8 innings in his last start, has given up a 2-run homer to Upton. And really, with Miguel Cabrera again out of the lineup tonight with the sore back, Upton being counted on even more.
Upton has really taken off since Brad has put him in that number 3 spot. He's having a lot of fun batting in the first inning, and he has what, 5 now? Lead off 5 first inning homers.
He does. Hicks looks at a strike 0-1.
I believe it is 4th when we were in Baltimore a couple of weeks ago. Is he hot or what?
Man, and there's nothing like an early lead. Fulmer will take that lead going into the bottom of the first.
Jay Up has 102 RBI as a career high. He is going to shatter that this season.
85 right now. The 1-1. 1-2 on Hicks. John had a good start to this year. Was called up early for the Tigers. Hit over 400 in the month of April. Has been up and down a couple of times for the Tigers. And with the injury to Cabrera, he has played some first base. In fact, he was at first base again yesterday. Miggy was going to play today, but he texted Ausmus earlier this morning, said his back was feeling a little bit tight, so they decided not to put him in. That's in the air to shallow center field. Robinson coming on, diving and making a spectacular catch, robbing Hicks of a base hit. Great play by the center fielder Drew Robinson. But Justin Upton has given the Tigers an early lead. A 2-run shot to dead center. Jay Up goes deep. Tigers have a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. Tigers starter Michael Fulmer tonight, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And first start for Michael since July 31st, and that's when we learned that he would miss a little bit of time with ulnar neuritis in the right elbow. He has pronounced himself healthy. He has thrown a bullpen or 2, and now he finds himself making his 22nd start of the season tonight against the Texas Rangers.
And the first man he will face is Delino DeShields, who'll get his started for the Rangers. And he looks at ball 1 up and in.
And Fulmer has the fastball, obviously, that most of you know, that can get up into the upper 90s. He's got that wipeout slider. He has a changeup, and he also has a curveball that he's been tinkering with.
Oh, look out, up and in, and DeShields, was he hit? Came awfully close. He's saying he was hitting the chin.
I don't know about Michael, man.
Yeah, the first 2 were
just the look on his face, too.
And I think DeShields was hit. He must have just nipped him. Well, maybe not. Home plate umpire is Angel Hernandez. DeShields is saying he was hit. The trainer came out. And right now I think the Rangers are going to look at this, because Hernandez said he wasn't hit. And now the Rangers trying to decide whether or not to look at this. There's Jeff Bannister, the skipper of the Rangers. And Jeff has been, and I'm sure he's had his 30 seconds here. They'll need to make a decision quickly here. I mean, this has gone way more than 30 seconds. The umpiring crew now is not really.
I don't know if you want to risk a challenge on that.
No, I don't either. Now one batter in the bottom of the first.
First two fastballs. Michael missed badly into his arm side on both of those pitches, up and into the leadoff hitter DeShields.
Fulmer allowed 7 runs in his last start against the Yankees before going on the DL. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 3 balls and no strikes.
Michael was talking about his injury and the owner neuritis, and he said really it did not affect any pitch except the changeup. The fastball was okay. He said the slider was good in that start against the Yankees, but the changeup was the one that was giving him the tingling in the fingers.
Here's ball 4. He missed badly on all 4, so the leadoff man on for the Rangers. Here is the rest of the Texas lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. He's on to Shields. He is followed by Andrus and Mazzara. And then you got Beltre cleaning up, then Gallo and Napoli. A lot of power there in the middle of the lineup. Odor, Chirinos, and Robinson rounding it out for Jeff Bannister. So the Tigers will have to keep a close eye on Fulmer tonight. He's missed on 4 straight here to start the game.
Elvis Andrus is probably overall having his best season as a professional. Batting average nearly 300. He's got a few home runs. He's got 33 doubles.
And there's ball 1.
And Michael Fulmer, for the most part, can shut down the running game. There's only been 4 attempted steals. And while he's been on the mound this year in 22 starts, DeShields on first base, however, has good speed. He's swiped 20 already, and he started the season in the minor leagues.
And he's been caught just 5 times this year. Andrus having a big month of August, 383.
I think you and I were surprised at one stat that's not a favorable stat for him, the fact that he has grounded into 17 double plays. Fulmer will take one of those ground balls right here once he throws a strike.
And there it is, the first strike that he throws at 96.
Nothing wrong with the velocity. That pitch that he walked DeShields on was 98 miles an hour.
Another throw back, and that one was close. DeShields just got back in there.
DeShields has a big lead.
And Tiger's not going to look at it. This Rangers team hits for a lot of power, not high average though. And a strike call now, 1-2, and Andrus did not like that call from Angel Hernandez. Foxtrack said it was a strike. Pretty good pitch. Andrus couldn't do a whole lot with that one. Power numbers up this year, 15 homers. Two balls and 2 strikes. Something that I think, Rod, to be said for body language as well. And I think Michael seems a little bit tentative early on here.
I've noticed that as well. A little unsure of himself, I think.
See if we can get that ground ball from Andrus here. And it's low and away now, 3-2.
Well, that pretty much takes the double play out of the mix, because I'd be very shocked if DeShields is not running on the 3-2 pitch, but Andrus could line to somebody in the infield, get a double play that way, but more than likely DeShields will be off and running.
Runner goes and is fouled off. Andrews spoiled a pitch on the outside part of the strike zone.
After 10 pitches, the ratio not really good for Michael.
The Shields on the move again, and there is ball 4. It's going to be back-to-back walks here in the first inning for the Rangers.
Consumer Energy brings you the Tigers starting defense. And Justin Upton in left, Matuk in center, Presley in right, Castellanos, Iglesias, Ian Kinsler, Hicks in the infield. James McCann is the catcher. Early visit tonight from Rich Doobie. And this is pretty much not talking about stuff. This is probably talking about how you feel. Asking for honesty right now.
Well, as you mentioned, the velocity is there to be sure. It's been upper 90s. But the location just has not been nearly as crisp. And now here comes Angel Hernandez to break it up. Rich Doobie taking as much time as he will be allowed. And Hernandez says, you got to leave. So there are 2 on now. Here is Nomar Mazara. Tigers lead 2-0 in the home run by Upton. Mazara this year with 14 home runs. 72 RBIs for the Rangers. And that leads their ball club. He's been their best RBI man this year. He's got a couple of ducks on the pond right now. And a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Mentioned this is a Rangers team that hits a lot of home runs. They have the second lowest batting average in baseball. But they can drive the ball out of the park with the best of them.
178 home runs as a team.
One ball and one strike. Fulmer trying to feel his way through this first inning after coming off the disabled list. And really, before he even went on the DL, he had been struggling. The ERA was about 4.5 in the month of August, which for Michael is struggling. Way inside as Mazara skips out of the way, 2-1.
He's thrown a couple of changeups. That last pitch was a changeup at 88. The previous pitch, a changeup as well at 89. So that's a good sign, the fact that he can throw that pitch. He said that was a pitch that gave him the discomfort in his last outing, his last start on July 31st in New York. He's got to stay out of these fastball friendly counts, even though he does have an upper 90s fastball.
It'll pop up, shallow center field, going to drop, base hit. They're going to score to Shields. He will come in. RBI single for Mazara. Sawed him off, but it's a 2-1 ball game.
It's a 2-1 fastball. He broke the bat of Mazara, but Mazara was able to muscle that ball into shallow center field. Big swing, which fooled Mikey Matuk momentarily. Good base running by the Shields. He took one look to see that that ball was not going to be caught, and with his speed, still able to score.
Still nobody out. The first 3 Rangers have reached here in the first, and here is Adrian Beltre. .311 batting average for Beltre, 12 homers, and has posted really good numbers in his career against the Tigers. .337.
That .337 is outstanding, but since putting on the Texas Rangers uniform in 2010, .420 against the Tigers. Over 400.
3,000th hit of his career earlier this season. Headed to the Hall of Fame, I'm sure, once his playing days are done.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that now.
Driven to right field, hit well. That'll chase Presley back. It'll get the run in. And Andrus will be able to walk home. It's a sac fly and an RBI, and the Rangers have tied it up.
The last 4 runs the Tigers have given up as a team have all scored on base on balls.
The two walks yesterday by Rondon, those 2 runs scored. That proved to be the difference. And, of course, these first 2 runs of tonight's contest.
The 2 walks eventually bought Rondon a ticket back down to Toledo to make room for Fulmer being activated tonight. So we're tied at 2 now. First out of the inning, here is Joey Gallo. Big swing there by Gallo.
Gallo, like Mazzara, a lot of power, but both guys swing and miss a lot. He has struck out 143 times this year, batting .206, but he's left the building 32 times.
First inning has always been a big inning, at least it has been this year for the Rangers, their highest scoring inning. And you can see they're playing to pull on Gallo, who fouls it back, and now the count is 0-2.
It appears to me that a lot of the guys that are heavy in the analytics and the teams that are heavy in the analytics, they don't really care that much about guys striking out a bunch as long as they're hitting the ball in the ballpark.
Well, you know, Houston was at the forefront of that a couple of years ago. They struck out 1,000,000 times, but they've since cut down those strikeouts. But you're right. Hitting the ball out of the ballpark has been the specialty for the Rangers this year. And Gallo straightens up, ball up and in, 1-2. Only Stanton and Conforto have hit more home runs since the All-Star break in the big leagues.
And Stanton has already eclipsed Gary Sheffield's Marlins home run record of 42. About 6 weeks to go.
He's a beast.
Oh my goodness.
Ball high to Gallo, wouldn't chase, 97 upstairs, 2-2.
So nothing wrong with the velocity of Fulmer so far here tonight, but the command has not been a typical Michael Fulmer start, at least not in the first inning. He's already thrown 21 pitches.
Gallo takes inside. It missed in, 3-2.
Here's where Fulmer would have the confidence to throw his changeup or his slider. In recent starts, we'll see if he has a feel for that pitch early on. He does not have to challenge a guy with a mid-90s fastball. He has confidence in his off-speed stuff. We'll see if they throw it, though. They're going fastball.
And he walked in ball 4. That'll be the 3rd walk of the inning now for Fulmer. 2 on, 1 out.
Fulmer also walked 3 batters in that last start against the Yankees, but by and large, he doesn't walk a lot. Coming into the contest, he'd only walked 31 all season.
Well, the Rangers have tied it up, and now they have 2 on, 1 out, and that'll bring up Mike Napoli, who sits on 23 homers right now. He hit a couple of those in that series earlier this year back at Comerica Park. He homered in 2 of the 3 games there. Rangers won 2 out of 3 back in May from the Tigers at Comerica. Swing and a miss.
And the Tigers, the one thing they always do with a guy like Napoli, a big, strong, physical guy with a lot of power, they always throw him fastballs, belt buckle, or higher. And usually they have success against him when they make a mistake down, and Napoli can hurt you.
Another guy that comes to mind where they've had a lot of success up top, a big power hitter, and Chris Davis.
Absolutely.
Of the Orioles. So now we're up to 25 first inning pitches for Fulmer. 0-2 though on Mike Napoli. Fouled off, just got a piece. Well, the hope here, if you're Brad Ausmus and Rich Doobie, is that Fulmer can get out of this inning and kind of find his footing. That first inning many times can be a little bit troublesome for pitchers, and then we've often seen times where they just kind of settle in.
Right.
And that is the hope tonight now for Fulmer. Ground ball left side. Iglesias to second one. Here comes the relay, double play, and Michael needed that big time. So the Rangers will settle for 2. They've tied it up as we go to the second. Going to play tonight. You see the Rangers are 3.5 back of the wild card with a bunch of teams to chase. The Houston Astros right now have kind of buried everybody in the West, although they're not playing well. The Astros, Keuchel pitched well for them last night, though. And Boston a lead in the East, and Cleveland leading right now in the Central.
And Texas kind of going through the exact same thing the Minnesota Twins team went through at the trade deadline. Management basically gave up on them too. They traded away Yu Darvish, they traded away Lou Croy, and they also traded away a reliever in Jeffers back to the Milwaukee Brewers. Adrian Beltre, their third baseman, said that they weren't playing very well after that because of that fact, but they rallied as a team. They talked about it, and they felt like they still had enough talent here to win, and they've gone on to play some decent baseball lately.
Victor Martinez leading it off. You know who else has rallied after selling off parts is Minnesota.
Yes.
The team we just saw the last 3 days, they took 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. Victor followed by McCann and then Presley, and now 2 balls 2 strikes on the Tiger DH.
Yeah, there's that changeup again from Martin Perez. He throws it 20% of the time.
Perez played for the Tigers' first base coach Omar Vizquel for Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic.
So he and Victor were teammates on that squad.
Absolutely. And a ball outside.
Everything to Victor. Away, away, away. Has not thrown Victor 1 pitch inside as of yet.
Tigers got 2 in the first on the Upton home run. Slap foul out of play. Martinez has had a rough go of it in the month of August, although he had a good game yesterday. He was on base a couple of times. Lifted in the air toward left center field. That ball is going to get down. It's cut off by the center fielder Robinson, and Victor's going to have to hold with a single. Leadoff man on.
He finally gave Victor something that he could put the barrel on. Every other pitch was way away from Victor Martinez. There's a fastball they wanted away, but it got way too much plate. Great concentration by Victor Martinez. Solid single in the left field. You can see everything away, 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 and he finally gave him something on the inner third, and Victor was sitting there waiting for it.
So Victor's starting to pick it up a little bit now.
He was on base 5 times yesterday, wasn't he? A couple walks, couple hits.
Walk, single, hit by pitch, single 4 times.
Yeah, I forgot to hit by pitch.
Here's McCann. Speaking of guys that are really starting to turn things up, it's James McCann.
He has been on fire.
Here's our AT&T reliability stat of the game. Just look at McCann. Catcher since the 16th of July. He is up there at the top of the list at 364.
I see you, James. I see you.
We were talking before the game on the kind of the turning point for McCann. He was struggling offensively and has been working with Bull Durham and Lloyd McClendon, and they finally got him to switch up his batting stance a little bit.
Choking up on the bat too.
Shortening up, and things started to click. And the Tigers also showed him his hot and cold zones on paper, something visual for him to see. You know, the thought was that, you know, here's James, who's looking at these hot and cold zones on paper for every team that the Tigers are preparing for as a catcher.
Right. And he uses it to his advantage.
Right. So why not use that to the advantage of looking at your numbers?
So you can see how pitchers throw you, and that's exactly what he did. And he figured out that they were trying to throw him balls upstairs all day long, and he was continue to swing at those pitches, but he has since started to lay off of those. And with the shorter swing and also choking up at the bat, he's got much better bat control these days.
Mack had that slam on Saturday against the Minnesota Twins. Ground ball to third. Beltre. This might be 2. Odor on to first, and they turn 2. 5-4-3 double play.
And Beltre grabs this ground ball and then simply takes his time. Makes sure he gives Odor a chance to get to the bag. Firm throw right in the chest, and an easy turn for the infielders.
You know, say what you want about Beltre and his offense and the 3,000 hits and all the homers he's hit. This guy can play some really good third base.
Yes, indeed.
And I think when you look at numbers and you wonder if a guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, when you could play that well on both ends of the baseball, a hearty yes, I think, is the answer. Here's Presley now with 2 outs. I just love what Presley has brought to this club. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but man, he gets you 2 or 3 knocks a game.
Quality at bat. He's a threat to steal a base. He can play some good right field, and he's hungry.
And really, when you look at the final, what, 5-6 weeks of this season now, it's guys like Presley that'll try and continue to impress going into spring training next year.
Yep, he'll be looking to impress the staff here and general manager.
Chopper to the right side, backing up there, Napoli. Toss to the pitcher, covering, and they get him by a step. That'll be it for the Tigers. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left.
Honestly, I've been kind of battling it for the last couple of years. This was just the first time that I actually felt it during a game. I think it kind of affected really only one pitch into the changeup because that's the only kind of ring finger I use on that pitch. But fastball velocity was good, slider was still good. You know, I'm not really concerned with it because my stuff is still there. I feel like just kind of affected the changeup, and obviously when you lose feeling of your fingers, it's not the best sign.
Rougned Odor drops down a bunt, is bobbled by Fulmer. He has no play, and the leadoff man is on.
If Michael Fulmer could do that all over again, because he really had no problem getting there, Mario, but it's when he tried to take the glove and exchange it to the hand to shuffle it that he ran into problems. If he just takes it and shuffles with the glove, he might have had a better chance of getting him, but he just couldn't make the exchange.
So the leadoff man is on here for the Rangers, and they have ruled that a base hit, bunt single. That'll bring up Robinson Chirinos.
And you heard Michael talking about the changeup, and that's a pitch that gave him some issues on the 31st of July. He's already thrown 5 changeups here tonight, so apparently that is not the issue any longer. And the velocity of the fastball is at 98.
Stuff is good, trying to get him to throw more strikes now as Chirinos digs in.
That would be a good thing. Their slider, good pitch.
He gave up 2. He walked 3 in that first inning, which is just 1 shy of his season high of 4. He's done that a couple of times this year. 3 times actually in his career. Now the 0-1. Time was called before that pitch was delivered. A wasted pitch for Fulmer. Mentioned Michael here last year to the day, exactly 1 year ago to the day, a complete game shutout. Family and friends at the ballpark, 9 innings, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts.
And no problem for Michael Fulmer to pitch in this type of weather. He pitched in this type of weather growing up in Oklahoma City. Hot, humid.
Yeah, that without doubt would not be an issue, and it's very warm here. Temperature in the 90s here today. Here is that corrected line. 9 strikeouts, no walks against the Rangers.
That was his coming out party for me when he did what he did against a good Texas offense in this ballpark.
There's a shot to left, a base hit. Chirinos with a solid single, and now the Rangers have 2 on and nobody out. Now Drew Robinson. A little bit, I would think, Ron, of an uneasy feeling now for Brad going forward in this game, and Rich Doobie as well, because you want to give Fulmer every opportunity to be able to get through this game, but there's got to be a little bit of concern with the way this one has started.
Yeah, I'm sure that both Rich and also Brad are watching Michael very closely.
He threw 27 in the first inning, got a big double play. Otherwise, it would have been a longer inning.
No sack bunts this year for Robinson, if you're thinking along those lines.
He is, and he looks at a ball. Now will throw through. Throw coming to third base. It's going to be held up.
I'm wondering why Iglesias didn't throw it.
It looked like he had time. Maybe he thought that Castellanos was not going to get to the bag.
Well, he still has to throw it to Castellanos. I get your point, too, because it looked like to me that's the reason why he didn't throw it. And Castellanos is looking at him like, why didn't you throw it? This is a nice play here by Odor. He gets picked off, and he couldn't get back, so he just took off for the next base. But just throw it to him. I don't know if the base runner was in his view and he didn't want to hit the runner in the back. Let's take a look here. Is he in his view?
I don't know.
No.
That might have been the case.
I mean, only Iglesias will know for sure.
Stolen base.
Brad, I know that Brad is not appreciating it.
Odor, and there's a ball outside to Robinson. Changeup that missed. I think if he throws that ball, you at least give Castellanos a chance to catch it and go throw a tag down. But Iggy held on. 1 ball, 1 strike on Robinson. Two and 1. Robinson was up there to sacrifice. Now with the runner at third, he'll try and drive him in. He's batting 182. Was called up on the 7th of July from Round Rock, and was having a solid year down there. Foul back at 97 miles an hour. Nothing wrong with the velocity tonight at Fulmer. Two and 2. Michael taking a long walk behind the hill, trying to gather himself. Rangers threatening here with nobody out in the second. 2-2 game. Upton has hit a home run tonight. The Rangers tied it up in the bottom of the first. Foul back out of play. .35 now for Michael. 19 strikes.
I'm trying to decide whether he has a swing and miss yet in 35 pitches. I don't remember a swing and miss yet.
We'll check that. I can't remember one either.
And he's thrown 35 pitches already. The guy's either fouling it off or putting it in play.
2 and 2 on Robinson.
being told that Mike Napoli did have one swing and miss. So
right.
one swing and miss so far tonight for Michael, and usually he's getting tons of swings and misses.
That was an elevated fastball, right?
Yep.
On Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
Odor jockeying down the line at third. And he got him. Strike three. Caught him looking. Robinson is out of there.
That's a pretty good swing back fastball at 97 miles an hour. Robinson thought that ball was going to be inside, but it tailed over the plate, and Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire, stayed with it and made the right call. Good pitch.
One away, first strikeout of the ball game for Fulmer, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup down to Lino DeShields, who walked in the first inning. He drops down a bunt. It is a fair ball. It'll get a run in. DeShields diving into first is out. McCann didn't seem to know whether it was fair or foul. Hernandez said it was fair.
And DeShields didn't run. Really, had he started running from the beginning and not slowed down, he might have got himself another base hit. It's a safety squeeze right there. It was not a suicide squeeze, but you have speed at third in Odor, and you have a speed in the batter's box. So once the ball goes down, then Odor takes off.
So the Rangers had their first lead of the night. Yeah, you're right. DeShields just stopped.
Yeah, he wasn't running.
Two gone now for Andrews. Do you think we're seeing that safety squeeze more and more? I know the Twins did it the other night against the Tigers.
Yeah, I think when teams are athletic and they have the right combination at third base and in the batter's box, as they did there, a couple of guys that can run, you get the bunt down and then the guy takes off for third. I mean, toward home plate instead of the suicide squeeze. We don't see many squeezes. I can't remember the last time we saw a squeeze in a game.
Right. It's been a while.
It's almost like with certain things that just kind of gone away with analytics. You don't see a lot of stolen bases anymore. Very seldom do you see sacrifice bunts.
Andrews cues one right to the first baseman Hicks for the final out of the inning. Rangers get a run, they leave a man, and we go to the third at 3-2 Texas. It's time now for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Aaron Judge has struck out in 30 consecutive games now, which is the first player to do so since 2012. Adam Dunn
Yeah, he's really been going through it lately, Judge.
Dodgers, well, they lead the West now by 18 games.
We're going to see them in a couple days.
They'll be at Comerica Park. Corey Kluber is quietly having a great year for the Indians.
He might be the Cy Young right now partner in the American League. He may just snatch it from Chris Sale, which I did not think anybody was going to be able to do.
Well, Sale had another really good start last night against the Yanks. But
those are the two front runners right now. They're running away with it.
Iglesias leading things off, and he sprays one foul back out of play, 0-2. Kinsler and then Matuk to follow. The Tigers trail by a run, 3-2. Perez back to work here in the third. The 0-2 in the air toward right center field. Mazara's under it, one gone. Let's bring in Johnny.
Yeah, guys, Ian Kinsler coming up to the plate. Of course, he spent 8 years here in Texas, was a 3-time All-Star with the Rangers. Says he always enjoys coming back home. He said the people are what make a city, and he really feels like the people here are so nice, so generous to him. When he got into town last night, said he walked from the hotel to his favorite sushi spot. He said he didn't know how happy those guys were to see him because he walked in and they were closing up shop. But when you're Ian Kinsler, I think they keep it open for you. You get some of your favorite sushi. But I did get a chance to talk with him. Of course, you hit on it earlier, guys, with the hand injury there. He feels like it's okay. Kind of hit him in a good spot on the hand, in between the wrist and the actual hand, right on the meaty part. So he feels like he's good enough. Said it didn't feel good yesterday, doesn't feel good today, but good enough to get back in there and grind it out.
All right, Johnny, that first at bat, yeah, it looked like it hindered him a little bit, but maybe it'll loosen up as the night goes on.
It might be one of those things, because I've experienced it before, and I'm sure a lot of people have, that it really doesn't bother you unless you swing and miss. If you swing and you make contact, you're okay, but if you swing and miss, that's where the problems will occur. And Johnny talked about the 8 years that he spent in the Texas Rangers uniform. He did some special things in their uniform twice. He had better than 30 steals and 30 homers in a season. Ian did that 2 times wearing a Texas Rangers uniform.
2006 to 2013, he was a Ranger. Here's the 1-2. Ian looks at a ball low. 2-2 the count on the Tigers' second baseman. Bouncing ball to first. Napoli will hit the pitcher covering for the out as Perez covers 2 gone. I think you could see on that swing as well, it really was not a very forceful swing there for Ian. But when you look at the numbers that he had here with Texas, you know, 273 lifetime, but as you mentioned, Rod, he had those 2 30-30 years.
Yep.
3 All-Stars.
Made some All-Star teams. He played in 2 World Series as well. And for the Texas Rangers, they were managed by Ron Washington at the time.
Two gone now, and here is Mikey Matuk.
Ian not real happy with a couple of those strikes that were called tonight by the home plate umpire, Angel Hernandez, and was barking at him a little bit as he ran back to the dugout.
And there a strike call.
Hernandez is one of those guys, man. He's got them rabbit ears, man. You say something to him, he'll be in that dugout, man.
What'd you say? Bernstein advantage for Mikey. He saw the numbers there. I mean, this guy's been red hot. Matuk has, for whatever reason, just taken off and just has not quit hitting since August the 5th. A 400 batting average for Mikey. Oh, look out. That ball was thrown behind him, and he skips out of the way.
That's one way to try to make a player that's been as hot as Matuk has been uncomfortable. You make him move his feet. You get him thinking a little bit about the fact that you might try to come back inside with another fastball, and then you simply go change up away. He literally made him move his feet, didn't he?
Flipped him. 2-1.
Let's see if he goes outside with something soft here. Perez throws that changeup 20% of the time. Here it comes.
Missed outside with the off-speed pitch. So now 3-1 on Matuk. Mikey scored ahead of the home run by Upton back in the first. It gave the Tigers an early 2-0 advantage. Drilled right back up the middle into center field, and Mikey says, take that.
Mikey is on fire.
That thing whistled right by the cap of Perez. Want to flip me like a pancake?
Right.
Okay.
This is one way to get payback. And you love it when you do this as a player. Throwing duck.
2 for 2 from Mikey Mata. Well, that's going to set up Jay up again.
So 6 of the last 7 games, Mikey Mata has had at least 2 hits in 6 of those games. 6 of the last 7.
2-run shot for Upton in the first. He hit it to dead center.
He's been killing left-handed pitching all season.
And it's a ball that traveled 444 feet. It gave the Tigers a 2-0 edge. The Rangers have since come back with 2 in the first and then took a 3-2 lead. Upton checked it. Strike call. That was at the top of the strike zone. Oh, 2.
Yep. Tigers dugout is they've gotten on Hernandez's nerves.
He just said it 2 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got the rabbit ears. And they're perking up right now. And I guess for the young fans, rabbit ears is an old baseball saying that indicates that an umpire has those big ears that are always, they can hear every little thing coming out of the dugout.
Yeah, and listening for it.
And listening for it, all the chat. The 0-2 inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We saw Minnesota yesterday really try to crowd Justin Upton with a lot of fastballs inside. I think really that's the way you have to try to get him out, because what he gets a chance to extend his arms on these days and the way that he's feeling in the batter's box, it's a lot of damage being done. So when a guy's this hot, you have to try to pitch him inside. You have to try to tie him up.
Ball 2 now. 2-2 on Upton.
And Justin has seen a couple of fastballs, a curveball, and a changeup in the 4 pitches in this sequence from Perez.
Upton batted .438 on the last homestand for the Tigers. And that one just missed inside.
Ooh, where was that?
A little bit in. And Jeff Bannister wants to know where it was. That'll give Matuk a head start here now on 3-2. Perez now is over the 50 mark, 52 pitches. Runner going, and he walked it, ball 4. So the Tigers now have 2 on with 2 outs. And Chevrolet's most dependable player is Justin Upton. When you look at all these different categories, leading your team in hits, runs, homers, RBIs, and walks. Here's a list of some guys that have done that.
And Votto, and Goldschmidt, Myers, Andrew McCutchen, and Andrew Judge. The other 5 that have done it along with Justin.
It's been that kind of year. And it looks like J-Up is primed for a big September as well. So now here's Castellanos with 2 outs. Tying run at second. Nick bounced out 6-3 in his first at bat. Fouled it off 0-1. Again, Cabrera not playing tonight with a sore back, stiff back, I guess is more accurate. He was going to play tonight. I don't know if it was the flight here last night, but Miggy woke up with some stiffness again, so he alerted Brad, who has kept him out of the lineup again tonight.
Miggy pretty much has been suffering that stiff back all season. Started in spring training.
High fly ball right field, not deep. Mazzara coming in, and that is it for the Tigers' threat in the third. No runs, a walk, and one man left. Still 3-2 Rangers.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. The Tigers spotted Michael Fulmer 2 runs in the first inning, but he came out for the first time in 10 days since making his last start. He walked the first 2 batters. He went on to walk a 3rd batter in that first inning. He gave up a base hit, and both of the guys that he walked in the first inning came around to score. So a little sluggish start for Michael in the first. A little better in the second he was.
And now Fulmer back to work here in the third. And Michael will face Nomar Mazara, the number 3 hitter for the Rangers. 40 pitches into this game. And Mazara stroked one to center, solidly hit, and a leadoff single for the Rangers here in the third. And he is 2 for 2 in the game.
Leadoff hitter has been on in all 3 of the innings today against Michael Fulmer.
Michael now has allowed 4 hits, 3 walks.
That ball left his bat at 113 miles an hour.
That last one?
Yes. He scorched it now. It was scalded.
That's how you used to hit him, man. 113.
They used to call that hit speed back in the day. Bat speed.
Beltre. Ball 1 to Beltre. Flight out to right field, a sac fly in the first inning, driving in a run.
Nearly 2 decades in the big leagues for Adrian Beltre. A career which started in Los Angeles, then to Seattle, then to Boston. And he's been here for the last 8 years. He's found a home.
Up with the right hand goes Angel Hernandez, 1-1.
Yeah, most of the fastballs that Michael has thrown today have been 95 miles and above. And just as it is when he takes the bump every 5th day.
Ground ball left side, should be 2. Castellanos, Kinsler, and a double play. The second turn by the Tigers tonight. 5-4-3.
Yeah, very nicely done by the Tigers infield. And with Beltre running, both Ian and Castellanos knew they had plenty of time. Nice feed. Ian took his time getting the ball over to Hicks, and Beltre wasn't close to the bag.
2 gone now. Here is Gallo. They play him to pull on the infield, and a swing and a miss.
Good change up there thrown by Fulmer.
Ball one inside, 1-1. Gallo played his high school ball in Las Vegas. In fact, he had 65 home runs, which is still a Nevada state record. Whew. In his college career. He also, I should say, high school career, he also threw a no-hitter in high school. That'll miss inside.
I wonder if he played with the other two famous baseball players from Vegas, if they're the same age or not. That would be Harper and the kid in Chicago. What's his name? Drawing a blank. Bryant.
I don't know about those two.
Yeah, those kids are from Vegas too.
Ball high. I think he went to high school with another big leaguer right now. It's not either of those two. We just saw the team, and I can't remember who it was. 3-1. High, towering drive to center field. Matuk going back to the track, to the wall, and another home run for Joey Gallo.
Michael Fulmer went about 73 innings this year, a streak in which he did not give up a home run. In his last 6 or 7 games, he's given up about 6 or 7 of them. That's what these guys do. They hit a lot of home runs. They have now 179 as a team.
They won't hit for average. Gallo came in at 206, but that is his 33rd home run of the year. Rangers now lead 4-2. Well, he unloaded on that.
Didn't he, though?
What's that term you use? Lift?
Lift and separate.
Bang. Strike one to Mike Napoli. 429 feet on that home run to left center for Gallo. Napoli bounced into a double play in his first at bat. Ground ball to short, and Iglesias has it there. Napoli is out. That'll end the inning. They get a run on the Gallo home run. 3 in the books in Texas. All right, Keats, thanks. Well, Aaron Judge, man, he is just going off. I know we talked about the fact that he struck out a lot here in the second half, but he can do it.
A lot of power. Easy power.
John Hicks leading it off. It'll be Hicks, Martinez, and McCann in the top of the fourth. Tigers down by 2 now. Martin Perez back to work. Here's the 0-1 to Hicks. Fly ball to center field. He was robbed of a hit on a diving play by Robinson in center. Another foul back out of play.
Perez likes to work the righties away. I mean, just about every righty and most of the Tigers starting lineup here today is right-handed heavy. He has stayed on the outside part of the plate exclusively to most of them. You see all 3 of those pitches away from Hicks.
One and 2 on John Hicks. Was 1 for 10 on the homestand. Little chopper back toward the mound. Perez, and he got him by a step.
Nice play.
1 away. We bring in Johnny Kane.
Yeah, Mario, John Hicks getting the start at first base tonight. Brad Ausmus obviously has the option of playing Andrew Romine there as well for as long as Miguel Cabrera's out. You guys are talking a little bit about the injury, you know, and you and I were in there talking, Mario, and basically the injury that Rod's alluding to that he had going back to the WBC, that was a lot of back pain that was on the left side. Well, what he's experiencing now is a newer pain where it's affecting the muscles in the lower back on the right side. Asked if Cabrera could be a candidate for the disabled list. He said not at this time. He'll continue to be evaluated day to day.
All right, Johnny, thanks. That ball driven to right field and hit pretty good. It's going to send Mazzara to the wall for the out. 2 gone.
You know, a lot of times when you experience, you know, whether you have maybe shoulder discomfort and you try to compensate with that, you develop elbow issues. Same thing can go for the left side of the back, right side of the back. You start to compensate, and next thing you know, you start to feel it on the other side.
Well, in the meantime, it's giving Hicks an opportunity to show what he can do at this level. Here is McCann. Rolled into a double play in his first at bat.
McCann has gotten his batting average all the way up to 253. And with his latest surge the last month, been one of the hottest hitters in the game.
James has hit safely in his last 3. And in fact, he's also hit safely in 19 of his last 22 contests for the Tigers. Two and 1. In the air to center field, shallow. It's going to drop, base hit. And McCann with a 2-out single. Tigers have had at least 1 base runner in every inning so far. It's going to bring up Presley.
Presley, the only left-handed batter in the starting lineup tonight for the Tigers. And Perez really doesn't give lefties problems. They hit 291 against him. Right-handers are hitting over 300 against Perez this season.
Back him out of there with strike 1, breaking ball.
Last couple of innings, Perez has started to mix in more breaking balls along with that changeup and his fastball. It's 2-seam fastball. He hasn't thrown many 4-seamers.
Presley recently off the disabled list with a side problem. He was suffering from a sore side, which put him on the disabled list. Went down and he got just a couple of games worth of rehab down in Toledo and quickly came back up. We saw that kind of injury keep a Ducey on the DL for a long time.
A couple of months.
Foul back out of play. 1-2 now on Presley. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. Four to 2, Rangers have the lead. Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 edge on a home run by Upton in the first. The 1-2. Slap to left field and caught on the run there by Gallo, inning over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Bottom of the fourth coming up from Arlington.
Game summary. The Tigers got on the board in the top half of the first inning, courtesy of a Justin Upton 2-run home run, his 23rd homer of the season. The Rangers took the lead in the second on a not suicide, but a safety bunt by DeShields. They scored their 3rd run, and then they scored their 4th run last half inning on a solo shot off the bat of Joey Gallo. He hits a lot of homers.
Yes, he does, and he's got another one. Fulmer back to the hill now. Swing and a miss by Rougned Odor.
This guy hits a lot of home runs too, and he takes a huge swing. His batting average way down this year, just .216 for Odor, but 24 homers. And you can see they play him to the pull field on the ground, pretty much straight up in the outfield.
Line to right center field. That ball is going to get down. Cut off by the center fielder Matuk. Odor trying for 2. He is in with a leadoff double here in the 4th.
Outstanding hustle by Odor, and he hit a pretty good pitch. It appeared to be a changeup that was at the bottom of the strike zone, but he waited on it patiently. And then as soon as the ball split the gap in right center field, he was thinking 2 out of the batter's box and able to get there with a hustling double. He hit a good changeup. That's a good pitch. But now he's thinking 2, and the reason why he's thinking 2 is Mikey Matuk, once he grabs this ball, he has to simply wheel and turn and throw accurately to get him out, which is a very difficult play. This is now 4 straight innings the leadoff guy has been on.
Yeah, 4 straight. And in 2 of the 4 so far, they've scored. Robinson Chirinos, the batter. He's got a little bit of power himself. Showing bunt, he'll drop one down. Fulmer has only 1 play. Chirinos is out, sacrifice to 3rd goes Odor. Now Drew Robinson to try and score him. Infield coming in for the Tigers, already down 4-2. Robinson came in batting only a .182, 3 home runs. In fact, 3 of his first 4 major league hits were homers. Showed power down at AAA this year. And he cues one right by Iglesias into left field, a base hit. RBI single for Robinson. 5-2 ball game.
Infield in, and nothing Iglesias nor Castellanos could do on this softly hit grounder through the left side of the infield.
6th RBI for Robinson. Here's the Shields, who walked in, scored in the first. His bunt scored a run his last at bat. Seven hits now for the Rangers. Ball 1.
It's now 19 earned runs that Michael has given up in his last 4 starts.
Robinson back in there. He has not stolen this year. He's been caught once. Rangers have scored in every inning so far. Up and in. 2-0. It's been a much different visit to Arlington this year for Fulmer compared to last year, when he manhandled the Rangers. They'll get back out of play. 2-1 now into Shields. Shields, out of the state of Georgia, was one of the top rated high school running backs coming out of that state.
Good athlete. His daddy was a good athlete too. Senior. Good base stealer. Second baseman. Played in the big leagues for a long time with the Montreal Expos.
Runner goes, and it's slapped to right field, foul. 2-2 on to Shields. Fulmer now at a total of 60 in the pitch count, which after the first inning stood at 27. It was a long first inning for Michael. Ground ball to short, could be another double play. Kinsler with a relay, threw it away. The Shields on his way to second, and he'll pull in there.
That's what speed will do. And that is a tailor-made double play, but with the Shields running down the line, Ian Kinsler knew he did not have as much time as he had on the previous 2 double plays that he's turned today, so he rushed his throw, and because of that, Hicks couldn't help him out on the other side.
Fielder's choice E4. Ball was sharply hit right at him. So a man at second now with 2 outs for Andrews. What did Rod Dyson always used to say?
That's what speed do.
One of my favorite sayings.
It is. He's funny too. He's having a good year out in Seattle.
Yeah. Leading the league in steals, I think.
Yeah, that was speed do.
Andrews lined out his last time up, walked in, scored in the first. DeShields, one of those base runners that likes to wear that oven mitt. Although his thumb is exposed.
Wasn't it Dyson that broke up that Verlander no-hitter too?
Yep.
With a bunt base hit. Yeah.
Ball one high.
I was talking to some people here that watch Elvis play every day, and they all say, that is pretty much his best all-around season with the bat, not necessarily with the glove. He's committed 13 errors, so he still makes some mistakes at shortstop, and that's why he doesn't get mentioned in the same breath as the Lindors and the Andrelton Simmons of the world, Correas. But offensively, he's a good shortstop.
Power, he's knocked in 60 this year.
They're the ranks. He's right up there with all those guys in several categories. Hits, doubles. Some middle infielders having some good years, isn't there?
A lot of them. In the air to shallow right center field, and Matuk runs it down to end the inning. They get a run in the RBI hit by Robinson.
He's a beast.
He's a strong man.
But you're right, John. I think the bat and the balls does have something to do with it.
Here is Iglesias. He'll get it going here in the 5th inning. I will say that all across baseball, and you've talked about this a lot, Rod, there are some career highs for a lot of players in the home run category.
Already, with 6 weeks to go.
Popped up, shallow center field. Odor calling, now called off by Robinson. One gone. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler. And with Kinsler coming up, let's go back to college with Nissan. Let's go back to college with Ian Kinsler. Let's go back to his Mizzou days.
He was pretty good his junior year there at .335 with 23 extra base hits. He stole some bases and had a very nice OPS, and that's one of the reasons why the Rangers drafted him that year.
It's a strike called on Kinsler, who was 0 for 2 in this game.
And Ian, he's not happy with, he is not happy at all with Angel Hernandez.
And he hadn't been happy since the opening tip tonight. Kinsler looks at a ball outside, 1-1, and now he's been thrown out of the game. How about that?
All he did was look at him.
Wow. Angel Hernandez apparently has had enough of Kinsler. He's thrown him out mid at bat.
And Ian, well, you knew he was going to throw somebody out anyway.
And he threw him out after a ball was called.
All Ian did was turn around to look at him to see if he was going to call it a strike, and he didn't like the way he looked at him.
So Kinsler getting some parting shots in. And the former Ranger now has been ejected from the game. Let's see if we have him looking at Hernandez.
Oh, now Brad's gone
Brad's
too.
been tossed too now.
All he did was look.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I don't know if
No,
he said
you're
something
right.
or not.
Right, and you got to give an Angel the benefit of the doubt there, because who knows what was said.
Right.
You
He
know,
just
now-
got that smirk on his face, man. He just, I mean, he seems like he looks for trouble sometimes, man.
So Brad's been thrown out as well. Anybody else?
And probably not the last.
Who's next?
It's not going to be the last one, I have a feeling.
So the Tigers need a batter now.
Andrew Romine will probably come in. Maybe Dixon Machado. I don't know.
Well, it's going to be Machado. He will resume the at bat here. Here's Osmus getting tossed.
Brad arguing balls and strikes. Not really arguing, but trying to have a conversation about balls and strikes. And that's exactly what Hernandez is going to say. Well,
Right.
he's arguing balls and strikes.
So Machado comes off the bench. Tigers now have lost their manager and their second baseman. And Dixon will inherit a 1-ball and 1-strike count. One out, nobody on. 5-2 Rangers lead. Here's the 1-1. Dixon takes a ball outside. Last thing Machado was thinking was he's going to have to walk to the plate here and take an at bat.
With a 1-1 count.
So he's going to try and battle here. In there, a strike called, and the count now is 2-2 on Machado, who will remain in the game and play second. And he missed. Ooh, that was borderline. 3-2.
And with Angel tonight and the fact that he's got a pretty big strike zone, you better be swinging at anything close, especially with 2 strikes.
Bouncing ball to third. Beltre with the backhand. Slings it over their sidearm. 2 gone. It'll bring up Mikey Matuk. All Matuk is doing is just keep hitting. 2 more singles tonight. He's also scored a run. Average back up over 300. 304 now. You know, it's going to get to the point where Mikey's going to be the #1 pick and pick the stick every night.
Well, I don't know about that, but not the way J Up's going.
Oh, that's a good point.
Not the way J Up's going, but he's going to be close second, though.
Yep. Here's a strike called. That was borderline. J Up waiting on deck.
And Martin Perez is probably done pitching to Justin Upton tonight. He's homered and he's walked him.
Pulled on the ground deep and short. Going to be a tough play. Andrews jump stop throws not in time, and Mikey another hit. A 3-hit game. Well, 2 on base runner to keep it going for Upton. Hey, this Friday the Tigers take on the Dodgers. 7:10 p.m. start. First 10,000 fans 18 and older receive a free poster featuring the Tigers 2017 All-Stars. For tickets, go to tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
The hottest team in baseball. They're coming to Comerica Park over the weekend.
That is the second straight at bat now that Matuk has kept the inning going and given Upton another opportunity here with 2 outs. And J-Up looks at a strike on the outer edge. 0-1.
Good pitch. A backdoor breaking ball. He started that ball off the plate, and it landed in Chirinos' glove very nicely. Chirinos gives a very low target. His target pretty much is below the knees every single time they want the ball down. Low target every single time. Good pitch to hit there by J-Up. He was just a little rotational with his upper body, therefore hit that ball right off the end of the bat, but a really good pitch to hit.
You know, when you say that he was rotational with the upper body, it just brings to mind how really razor thin the margin is for hitters, isn't it, in terms of remaining consistent?
Yeah, if he'd have kept that front shoulder locked a little bit longer, he probably would have hit that on the sweeter part of the bat, and that ball would have been hit hard somewhere. But sometimes when you rotate too much, when your eyes get big, that'll happen. Don't go breaking ball in here to J-Up.
Staying alive.
Yeah, this is what J-Up did in the first inning. If you tuned in a little tardy today, he hit the ball 440 feet from home plate, straight away center field. And he is just simply on point with that leg kick. It lands soft, and then when he starts to transfer his weight, he's been getting busy.
Perez trying to finish him off here on 0-2. And he does. Awkward swing by J-Up. Down he goes. No runs, a 2-out hit, couple of ejections. And Tigers baseball tonight brought to you by Bell Tire. The bottom of the 5th inning here in Arlington. The Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 lead. It's been all Texas since. And Michael Fulmer back to the hill. It'll be Mazzara, Beltre, Gallo, the middle of the Rangers lineup here in the bottom of the 5th.
And Michael trying to do something here in the 5th that he has not been able to do in the prior 4 innings, and that's retire the leadoff hitter.
Strike one, the call on Mazzara. Single RBI for Mazzara. 73 RBIs, leads the Rangers. Up and in. Rangers have scored in every inning so far, so Michael trying to throw a 0 up there.
Usually when you have a guy as tall as Mazzaro is, they don't crouch as much as he does. And the reason for that is, and because you're down so low, your natural tendency is to come out of that crouch. And if you come out of the crouch, obviously your head's going to move. So most big guys, they stand a little bit more upright to make sure they don't have that issue. But he likes to get way down there.
Machado remaining in the game at second. Little looper back second base, and Dixon runs it down, and Mazzara retired. It's bring in Johnny.
All right, boys, of course, Adrian Beltre celebrating that 3,000th hit a couple of weeks ago. What did he do for his guys? This is why they love him so much here in Texas. He got everybody replica lineup cards from that day. It has all the guys sign it, so all the teammates will be able to give it to one another. Also gave everybody a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Ooh.
That's scotch. That's good scotch.
That's expensive scotch.
That's expensive scotch, Ron. I know you would know better. And he also provided the boys with cigars as well. And apparently there's one other surprise still coming. He hasn't revealed exactly what it's going to be yet. But
so let me get this right, Johnny. He hit the 3,000th hit,
and
but he's passing out the gifts?
I don't know. And that's what makes Beltre so special, I guess. I mean, you understand why his teammates love him so much.
Well, he's their captain.
Well, they did. I know Elvis Andrews was in on it. They did get him a commemorative painting of the 3,000 hits. And all his teammates were in on that. So I don't know if Elvis was collecting on that. But that was certainly one of his ideas.
They have one of his home runs here in the picture with his wedding proposal. That's what they call that swing right there. Oh,
down on one knee.
Yeah, the wedding proposal.
Yep.
I'm a little concerned that Rod knew immediately that was expensive scotch. Just a tad concerned about that.
You know what my lovely wife did for me when she
What's that?
She put together I was gone for the season, and we had a room downstairs, and she kind of made it into my office, my own little man cave.
Right.
And she got me a little bottle of that to put in there,
Really?
just to put in there in the office.
She gets you a smoking jacket too.
No, I didn't get all that. She took care of me.
How long did that last you?
Oh, it lasts a long time.
Joey Gallo, the batter. 2 out, nobody on. And they've got the big shift on here for Gallo. Man, look where Machado's playing. Playing in right field. That one's up and in.
Well, Gallo's got 32 home runs, but a lot of times if you can't put nobody in the seats,
No.
he's getting off.
He homered to left center in his last at bat. That'll dive low, and the count now 2-1.
Michael's continued to throw his changeup. He's thrown his slider. He's thrown his fastball. So no issues with the pitch that he said that gave him some discomfort in his last start on July 31st in New York.
That ball hammered on a line to center. Mikey comes in to make the catch.
Ooh, these boys hit the ball hard.
No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the 6th. Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet. Go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet, find new roads. The statue of Nolan Ryan here in Arlington, doffing his cap. And the number 34. Ryan Express. So many guys that played in his era will tell you that he was the hardest thrower they ever faced.
Yep. And he was mean too.
Yeah, and I don't know what the gun had him in those days, but he had to be over 100 according to some hitters.
Yeah, he was over 100. I think the guns had Nolan over 100. He was one of the few.
Here is Castellanos to lead it off. It'll be Nick, then Hicks and Martinez in the Tigers' sixth. The Tigers have lost Kinsler. He's been ejected for arguing balls and strikes. Likewise, the skipper, Brad Ausmus. That's a little bit in tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick with a ground down to fly out. Tigers trail 5-2. Low and away, 2-1.
Well, really, since the first inning, Perez hasn't given the Tigers a whole lot to hit. Mikey Montauk's got some singles today, but the big blow by Jay Up in the first, a 2-run home run. He really hasn't made many mistakes since that particular pitch, and that wasn't necessarily a mistake. And that Jay Up hit out of the ballpark.
Ricky Rodriguez warming up for them. And now he's gone 3-1. Nicholas has hit safely in his last 5. In fact, all of them have been multi-hit games. He batted .500 on the homestand. Little chopper slowly back toward the pitcher. And he'll throw him out.
That's the second nice play that Perez has made from that position today.
Hey, tomorrow Major League Baseball marches on as Miguel Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers take on the Lone Star grid of the Texas Rangers. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern on FS1. Here is Hicks. Ball 1 to Hicks. He had that shallow fly ball to center field back in the first inning that Robinson made a diving play on. Perez back home, and it's fouled. 1 ball and 1 strike. Perez came into this game 0-2 with a 7.27 earning against the Tigers. And then gave up that 2-run homer early to Upton in the first inning, but nothing since.
He's at 91 pitches. That's why they have someone up in the bullpen. Very seldom does he go over 100. His high this year in the pitch thrown count, 113. He did that against Boston earlier this season.
He is signed through this year, but the club has options on Perez for the next 3 seasons. Hicks for the wave and a miss, 2-2.
And Perez is getting more and more comfortable with each frame that he pitches here today.
Off the end of the bat, foul. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And he got him, strike 3. Hicks is caught looking.
Most of these right-handers, just about every time they step in the batter's box, everything is away, whether it be the backdoor breaking ball, whether it be the fastballs away. He's been painting outside. Every single pitch, for the most part, to Hicks was away from him.
95 now for Martin Perez. And that, by the way, was only his 2nd strikeout of the night. Here's Victor. Martinez this year has been markedly better from the right side. He's batting .284 righty and .244 lefty. Those were the numbers coming in. Chopper to the shortstop, ranging left. Andrews got plenty of time, and he'll throw him out.
I thought Elvis was going to run it over there.
1, 2, 3, 6th inning. On our way to the bottom of the 6th, 5-2 Rangers. 6 Rangers on top in this one, and the Tigers battle the Dodgers this Friday at Comerica Park. Save on great seats. It's the weekday value pack. Get 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and drinks, all for just $24 per person. Go to tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGERS. Well, Michael Fulmer done for the night. Wallside windows pitching change. Jeff Farrell is in.
And Jeff was pitching some really good baseball down in Toledo. 41 games, 46 2/3. The earned run average just a shade over 2. He also had 51 punch outs, and he wasn't walking very many people, just 14 of those.
A bullet hit foul down the left field line.
Farrell has a plus changeup, and he threw a first pitch changeup there to Napoli. He's fearless with that pitch.
Farrell had not appeared in the big leagues since 2015 with the Tigers a couple of years ago. Battling back from injury. He'll throw a ball up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Napoli to lead things off here, then Odor and Chirinos. Napoli is 0 for 2, couple of grounders. 1 was a double play. Edelman inside.
A lot of people in Cleveland feel like they're missing Napoli. They also miss Rajay Davis, who was on that Cleveland squad last year. Napoli provided a lot of leadership skills in their clubhouse and on the field. And sometimes when you lose a veteran player like that, who's taking over that role?
Yeah. Chased one there. Well, I think that really came to light early on in the season when Edwin Encarnacion was struggling.
Right.
They talked a lot about Napoli, but now Encarnacion has caught fire. He's hit 2 more homers tonight.
Carrying that parrot around.
That's right. Indians a winner again this evening. Napoli again, that ball up and around the chin, and he took a hack at it.
Best player on that Cleveland team for me is Ramirez.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I mean, I know
overall,
Lindor,
sure.
For me, he's the best player on that team.
Still
Lindor's a
better
great
than Lindor?
player. Right now, he is.
Yeah.
Right now, he is. I know Lindor's future is awfully bright, but that kid right there, man, they would not be where they are without him, and wouldn't have got to the World Series last year without him playing the way that he played.
High fly ball, shallow right field. Presley coming in, and Napoli is out, 1 gone.
And good pitch there. Good execution by Farrell. Fastball up top to Napoli. That's where he doesn't do very well, and got him to pop up harmlessly.
Fulmer tonight, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, and he walked 3.
And here's the location of that fastball up top to Napoli. Tries to pull those hands up and swings straight up underneath it.
Here is Rougned Odor. He's had a good night. Single, double, 2 runs scored, and a steal. What's up with his helmet?
It's pine tar. Pine tar, rosin, everything.
Yeah, the rosin has turned it white.
Doesn't look healthy.
And that's one messed up helmet right there. Check that thing for mold. Normally, when you get that much pine tar on there, you can't see the logo of the team, but not so with the Texas T. That ball going to go down the right field line. It's going to hook foul. And a souvenir. Odor was signed to a 6-year extension this past March, coming off that year in which he had 33 homers last season. Now Farrell ready with the 0-2. Fouled off. And Odor limping a little bit. Actually, a lot of bit. Where'd it get him?
It looked like he got him right where he does not have that protective device. He's got a big shin guard, looks like, on his right leg, and that one must have snuck right on behind it where he's pointing to, right beneath the right calf.
Pretty soon players will be walking out wearing suits of armor.
This is one of the bigger protection devices that I've seen a left-hander or a right-hander wear. He must be in a lot of pain.
He's got to be, because he's not moving all that quick. Well, he's limping into the batter's box. One out, nobody on. We're in the sixth. Tigers down 5-2. And Odor fouls it back out of play. Still hobbling.
Odor uses a heavy bat. He uses one of the heaviest bats in the big leagues. He's not a big guy in stature, but he generates a lot of power with that big bat, and he can get it around. It's at least 33 ounces. I've heard sometimes 34 ounces, which is a huge bat these days for any player.
Ball high.
Most guys these days use 34, 32, 34, 31 ounce bats, but very seldom do guys have 33 ounces or 34 ounces.
Stroke to center, base hit. And Odor has his third hit of the game. Bum leg and all. That'll bring up Chirinos.
Yeah, a lot of times guys like Odor, guys that can run a little bit, they'll be limping around and walking slow, and the next thing you know, you forget about them at first base and they're swiping a bag. And Farrell may as well throw over one time.
Let me ask you something about bats. You were talking about bats. As the season would wear on for you and you got to the hot summer months, did you start to use a lighter bat as you got more and more tired throughout the year?
Probably
Yeah.
start out with a little heavier bat, then you would probably go to a little bit lighter bat. But I used to use lighter bats against guys that I knew I was going to get a lot of breaking balls on that particular day from that pitcher. I would use a lighter bat because I wanted to stay back longer, and I still wanted to be quick enough after I recognized the breaking pitch. But guys that I knew were going to challenge me with fastballs all day long, I would use a little heavier bat, because really all I was thinking about was one pitch and getting into one area. So it didn't really matter the heaviness of the bat.
See, because I guess logically, when you think about that, if you're facing a guy that throws hard, you would think you'd want to use a lighter bat to be quicker.
Yeah.
0-1. And Odor scampers back. Farrell on here for Fulmer, who went 5, walked 3, struck out 1. Michael threw 75 pitches. And struggled with the command most of the early part of this game. Settled in a little bit his last inning.
Yeah, he walked 3 of the last 5 batters. That was the only 3 walks that he issued today.
We had him leaning there, and he just got back. Ball high. Farrell appeared in yesterday's game through a 1-2-3 ninth inning. 41 games at Toledo, 2.5 ERA. Strike called. 1-2 on Chirinos. Drafted by the Tigers back in 2010. And then re-signed by the Tigers in September to a minor league deal last year.
And Farrell, for the most part, just 2 pitches, fastball, changeup.
Runner goes. Ooh, look out up at his helmet. Throw down to second. Not in time. It'll roll away. Odor is up, going to third. He's going to take the turn and hold there. He almost had a chance to score on that play. Stolen base for Odor. He'll advance on an error.
Not a bad throw by James McCann, but the throw hit the runner. It was right as Odor was getting to the bag the same time the ball was, and Machado couldn't corral it, and it was kicked in the shallow left field by Odor. He was able to get up and scoot to third. Going to be a tough error for James McCann.
Not limping now, is he?
No, not at all.
Infield in. Stolen base heat too.
Well, we knew he was going to go. We called that. It's the second stolen base tonight for Odor.
Now Chirino's trying to drive him in. 2-2 the count. .29 driven in for Chirinos this year. A little bit of power. He's got 13 homers. He also played on Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic along with tonight's starter Martin Perez, and they played under Mr. Vizquel.
And Mr. Vizquel has quite a few members of his squad in the ballpark tonight. Miggy, Victor.
That'll miss low. Now the count fills 3-2.
There's Omar. Omar's got to be getting close to Hall of Fame, right? His year's got to be coming up soon.
Yeah, his last year was, I'd have to look that up, but he's got to be near the 5-year.
Yeah, he's getting close.
3-2. Into shallow center field. It's going to drop. Base hit. Runner will score.
Everything falling tonight for Texas. I mean, they've got infield singles, bloop singles.
RBI single for Chirinos, and the stolen base and error turns out to be big. 6-2. 30th RBI for the catcher. That'll bring up Drew Robinson.
And bottom of the order getting it done tonight for the Texas Rangers. They have 6 hits. The bottom of the order. And 3 by Odor, 2 by Chirinos, and 1 by Robinson. And they've driven in runs and scored a bunch of runs.
More action in the Tigers pen. Drew Verhagen. The answer on Vizquel, 2012 was his last year in the major leagues.
It should be next year.
Yeah, next year then.
Oh, nice play down there by the ball boy.
Vizquel, about 2,800 hits in his career, and a truckload of Gold Glove awards.
He had a stranglehold on the Gold Glove,
didn't he?
He once made the final out of a game in a no-hitter with his bare hand. And a no-hitter, dude, he barehanded it.
Robinson fouls it away.
Can you imagine how much confidence it took to barehand a ball for the final out in a no-hitter?
Well, when he teamed up with Alomar in Cleveland in his heyday, man, that was probably as good a double play combination as he would see at the time.
Not many better. Not many better ever, really. Obviously, Lou and Tram, 2 of the best ever, but that tandem you just spoke of was outstanding. Both switch hitters, both good range, great defenders. Both going to be Hall of Famers.
Ball high, and the count 1-2 now on Robinson. Rangers have scored in every inning but the 5th tonight. They lead 6-2.
This Texas offense has kept the pressure on the Tigers every single inning.
Soft one hopper hit the second. Machado spins. And they will get just 1. 2 gone. Now, speaking of Tram, the Tigers battling the Dodgers this Saturday at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans receive a free Alan Trammell bobblehead. If you'd like tickets, go to Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
I was thinking that's probably Tram's first bobblehead, because when he was playing, they probably weren't making bobbleheads. But then I thought back to when he managed the Tigers for 3 years. He probably had one then.
Could have.
Don't know for sure.
I'll have to go home and check my collection. I don't think I have.
You got everybody's?
Well, no, I don't have everybody's, but got a whole section of bobbleheads.
In your man cave?
Well, it's my office. I don't know that I really have a man cave.
No?
I don't like to hang out in my office either.
You don't?
Just kind of there.
Yeah. You guys are empty nesters now, though.
Yeah, we are. The couch is usually where you'll find me. In the off season. The Shield's the batter. Popped him up. First base side, Hicks calling, waiting, and making the play. Hitting over, however, the Tigers give up another. The Chirinos RBI hit makes it 6-2. Hey, Menards brings you the big money encounter, and anybody that encountered Mark the Bird Fidrich back in 1976, it did not end well. Of course, the Bird would have been 63 years old today, and I'm trying to think of anybody that had more of a immediate impact in the game than Mark the Bird Fidrich. Not many.
Well, it'd be hard to find. His personality was electric. I really used to enjoy when we would go to Boston and the Bird would come up and join us for an inning. He kept us laughing.
Oh, he did, man. American League Rookie of the Year, his 76th season. He was 19-9 with 24 complete games as a rookie.
Is that ridiculous or not?
Yeah, pretty amazing. We missed the Bird for sure. Well, we go to the 7th inning now here in Texas, and the Tigers have the bottom three. McCann leads it off. And James looks at a strike called. It's a wall side windows pitching change. Ricky Rodriguez in his major league debut tonight.
12 games in Double-A Frisco for Rodriguez. 15 innings, a 1.20 ERA, whip well under 1, and that's probably why he's gotten himself a chance to come to the big leagues. 96 with that fastball, so he's got a big arm.
Venezuela native. Had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. McCann in the ball game tonight, 1 for 2.
And Tommy John surgery, we were talking before the game today, and it's not all that uncommon for guys to have that Tommy John surgery and then go on to have a long career. There are over 100 guys in the big leagues today that have had Tommy John surgery.
Is that right?
Over 100.
A little high, and the count out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ricardo Rodriguez goes by Ricky out of Maracay, Venezuela.
He started the season in high A ball.
Well, now he's got his first big league strikeout in the first batter he faces.
He'll never forget that.
Strikeout of McCann, 1 gone.
He had some pretty good numbers in the minors overall between A ball and Double A, and 17 saves, a 5-1 record, an ERA of 1.34. So he kind of forced his way onto the big league scene.
Presley, the batter, lined out to left field his last time up.
And Tigers got off to a real nice start here tonight, but have been quiet other than that. Different kind of delivery here by Rodriguez. He kind of turns his back almost entirely to the hitter, which allows him to hide the baseball very well coming out of that white uniform.
Ooh, that's a high strike there, down at the strike zone.
Well, Angel's been calling the low strike, and he's also been calling the high strike.
I mean, Presley's not 6'7". Final numbers on Martin Perez: 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs through 97 pitches.
And he came in with a 7 earned run average in his career against Tigers bats, but he really settled in after the 3rd bat of the game. That's when Justin Upton took him deep to center field for the only 2 runs the Tigers have scored tonight.
Got him, strike 3, and Presley is out of there, and Rodriguez has struck out the first 2 batters he has faced in the major leagues.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there. Fastball was up the previous pitch. He got that called a strike. Then he came back upstairs with a breaking ball that was up at the top of the strike zone to get that called a strike by Angel Hernandez. That's his first strikeout. They authenticated that baseball.
Iglesias looks at a strike, 0-1. Iggy with a couple of fly balls tonight, 1 to right, 1 to center. Ball high, laid off. 96 up there from Rodriguez.
Yeah, they're calling that a cutter at 96, but it looks like it's a 4-seam fastball to me. I don't see a whole lot of cutting action to it.
Sliced to first and caught there by Napoli to end the inning. So Rodriguez's first big league inning goes 1-2-3. Coming up, a McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch.
Perez's night tonight. He gave up a home run early to Jay Up, but after he settled in, he got ground ball double plays, and for most of the right-handers all night long, he worked them exclusively on the outer third of home plate, and every now and then 2 to 3 inches off the plate. He tied Jay Up with a breaking ball, but for the most part, away. And he had a very nice night tonight against Tigers bats.
Well, the numbers on Martin Perez: 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs earned. He walked only 1.
So that's back-to-back really good starts for Martin Perez. His last outing against the New York Metropolitans, he pitched 8 innings of pretty good baseball.
Drew Verhagen is on now for the Tigers. He will pitch here in the bottom of the 7th. Wallside windows pitching change. Verhagen was in the rotation when Fulmer was on the DL. Michael back with Verhagen going back to the pen. He's got Andrus Mazzara and Beltre here in the 7th for the Rangers.
Yeah, Verhagen's got a good arm. His average fastball right around 93. He can get all the way up to 96 though.
Grounded foul.
Also features a slider and a curveball and a split finger.
Drew made a couple of starts for Fulmer. Tigers made the decision of sending Rondon back down to the minor leagues and just simply shifting Verhagen to the bullpen. That'll miss outside, and the count now goes 3-1 on Elvis Andrus. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Off his foot, and now Andrus can hop around.
It's a good fastball here by Verhagen. I told you he can get up to 96, but this 96 right here had some tailing action on it. And it ran in on the hands of Elvis, and he hit it right off his foot.
The 15 homers this year for Andrus is a career high. Here's the 3-2. Slice to right field, base hit. It's another hit for the Rangers. 10 hits on the night for the Texas offense now.
And majority of those hits from the bottom of the order, as we just told you. 6 of the 10 hits tonight by the bottom 3 in the Texas Rangers order. And 22 steals for Elvis Andrus this year. More than likely he will at least attempt to steal on the first couple of pitches.
Nomar Mazzara, 2 singles and RBI in this game. Ball 1 as it's smothered by McCann. Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning when Justin Upton homered against Perez. A 2-run shot, but it's been all Texas in the interim. They've scored in every inning but the 4th tonight. Way up top, 2-0. Fouled back out of play. Now they count 2 balls, 1 strike on Mazzara. Tigers dropped 2 out of 3 to this Texas team back in May. That was at Comerica Park.
That's about that time Texas was really rolling. I mean, that was when they had won like 10 straight. And so the Tigers saw them at the beginning of the year, where when they saw them, they were playing some of their best baseball.
Now time called.
Elvis Andrus over at first base. Big lead.
He'll draw a throw. 22 swipes this year for Andrews. He's been caught 7 times. Rangers have a couple of steals tonight from Odor. Infield against Mazara bunched toward the middle. That'll make him move his feet. And now he's gone ahead in the count, 3-1. There's room down the third base line. There's that hole to the right side, with the runner being held up. Bouncer back off of Verhagen. He's going to run it down. There's going to be no play. Infield hit for Mazara, his 3rd hit of the game. And we'll bring in Johnny Kane.
Hey guys, up here at the second deck in left field, you know, Ivan Rodriguez inducted into Cooperstown on July 30th this past Saturday. Had his number 7 retired here by the Rangers. Of course, Pudge played 13 illustrious seasons here. Rangers have only retired 4 numbers. Of course, Jackie Robinson universally so, number 42. Johnny Oates wore number 26, the longtime manager, and then Nolan Ryan's number 34. But Pudge Rodriguez has said sellout crowd, capacity crowd on hand here to wish Pudge well. And certainly we know how much of an impact he had here in Texas and certainly back in Detroit as well, boys.
Yeah, boy, did he. 5 years with the Tigers, including that 06 American League Championship team.
And there's Roberto Alomar. We were just talking about him and Vizquel as that double play combination in Cleveland that was so good. How about Pudge in the Ranger colors, in the blue slacks and the red top?
He was coordinated. Here's your next Rangers Hall of Famer, Adrian Beltre, standing in. 2 on, nobody out. We're in the 7th, 6-2 in favor of Texas.
Adrian's had 7 really good years in the Rangers uniform. Came in 2010 after 1 year in Boston.
Ball 1 to Beltre. He is knocked into 1 double play already tonight. There's a ground ball to short. 6, a 4, and a 3. Another double play knocked into by Beltre.
That was going to be a double play anyway off the bat of Beltre. He doesn't run well, but he went down to a signature pose here on this breaking ball. He went down to 1 knee, and by the time he got up, he slipped again, and an easy turn for the Tigers infielders.
3rd double play of the night bounced into by the Rangers. Runner at 3rd now with 2 outs, and Gallo stands in. Up and in, 1-0. Andrews at 3rd with 2 outs. On the ground to the first baseman. Hicks has it. He'll take it himself to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. 6-2 in favor of the Rangers. The Tigers have been out hit 11-6. And here are the probables for tomorrow, presented by Wallside Windows. Justin Verlander, A.J. Griffin go at it.
A.J. Griffin has spent some time on the disabled list this year, but he's pitching some decent baseball these days. At least he's taking his turn every 5th day. And Justin Verlander is pitching some outstanding baseball right now for the Tigers overall.
JV's ERA under 4 now. Nice. All right, we've got a new pitcher on now. It's going to be Matt Bush in a Wallside Windows pitching change.
Yeah, Bush has got a big arm. He was closing some games earlier this year, but no longer closing. He's using him in the 6th. He's using him in the 7th and the 8th inning these days. That will be their manager. He's got a big arm. Fastball gets up to 98 miles an hour. He's got a slider. He throws that about 17% of the time. And he also has a curveball. He throws his slider at about 90 miles an hour. So it's a pretty hard pitch.
He was 10 of 15 in save opportunities. He delivers strike 1 to Dixon Machado.
Yeah, first pitch by Matt Bush, 99 miles an hour.
Machado's second at bat. He came on mid at bat for Kinsler, who was tossed. That was way back in the 5th inning.
And Bush originally drafted by the San Diego Padres in the 1st round as a shortstop. Now he finds himself pitching in the major leagues. There's a few other position players that have turned into good pitchers. Kenley Jansen, the closer for the Los Angeles Dodgers, was a catcher for the Loons back in the day.
Troy Percival was a catcher as well. Turned closer.
Matter of fact, Kenley Jansen was catching Kershaw that year. And now,
now look.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gene Lamont has taken over as the skipper of the Tigers. Brad Ausmus also was ejected after Kinsler was given the heave-ho. 3-1 on Machado. Dixon pounced it foul, back out of play. 99 there from Bush, who right now has worked 8 2/3 scoreless innings over his last 8 games. And over his last 15, he's given up just 1 earned run. 8th inning duties tonight with his team leading 6-2. Up and in, and he walked him, so the leadoff man on here in the 8th.
Here's our call, Sam, call of the game. Mikey Montuk's led off yesterday with Ian Kinsler being out of the lineup. He's back in his familiar number 2 spot, and all he's done today is 3 singles, 1 to right, 2 right, back up the middle for the Tigers center fielder. And so Mikey Montuk just continues to get it done.
He had 9 hits on that homestand. He's got 3 more tonight. Third 3-hit game of the year. 8 multi now in his last 10 games. And Bush can't throw a strike. 1-0.
And Mikey locked in right now, probably more so than he's ever been locked in his major league career. He's had a solid couple of months now.
Mikey now up to 304 in the average column.
Well, you know you're going to get a fastball right here. It's going to be about 97 miles an hour. That's exactly what it was.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I figured he'd take a little off, and so he could find the strike zone, because the 99-mile-per-hour fastballs he's been missing with that pitch.
Missing high again, and Bush has been all over the place. He's trying to give the Tigers an opportunity to get back in this now. 2-1. It's got Bannister up and heart beating a little bit here.
He looks more like a football coach, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Got that look.
He's got that football coach look.
The 2-1. 98 upstairs could not catch up. Two and two. Seven straight had been retired prior to the walk to Machado here in the 8th. Three and two, full count. Bush replacing Rodriguez, who had a 1-2-3 7th in his major league debut. Couple of strikeouts and a lineout. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Janman there with a fastball, and Mikey now has words for Angel Hernandez. One gone.
And probably ball 4, but when a guy is throwing in the upper 90s, you don't have all that much time to decide whether that ball is going to be in the strike zone or not.
Meanwhile, Barnett's starting to warm up as well in their bullpen. Here is Upton. There's a power versus power battle here, and Jay Up looks at ball 1.
And Bush has thrown 13 pitches, and 12 of the 13 have been 96 miles an hour and above, several at 99. So he's only thrown 1 slider.
Doug Brocail coming out now to try and calm him a little bit.
Doug Brocail, big man.
He is indeed. You listen when he talks.
Looking down on Bush.
MLB.com and Paddock, your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Tigers home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, and more. MLB.com and Bat. Get it today.
The key when a guy is throwing as hard as Bush is, you really don't want to try to pull him. It's very difficult to get the bat out in front to pull 97, 98. But if you take the proper angle with the bat, pulling the hands closer to the body, you can barrel it up. You can put it in play with some authority.
That'll move the runner up.
It's a second breaking ball that he's thrown of the 14 pitches now. Jay Up sitting in a real nice fastball count.
Pass ball on Chirinos.
Why is that a pass ball?
Oh, I don't know. That ball hit the dirt.
He turned his glove the wrong way. And maybe he didn't have time to turn his glove the other way, but that still should have been a wild pitch. Matter of fact, I'm going to write down wild pitch.
And they may change that. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Upton as Bush continues to scuffle here.
He'll get ready for that heater.
Bouncing ball back up the middle, man. They had played it perfectly. And Jay Up is out. That'll advance the runner. And guess what? Wild pitch. He changed it. 2 gone. That'll bring up Castellanos.
And Nicholas Castellanos probably swings at the first pitch as much as any Tiger. If he gets a strike, especially when runners are on base. And he's not waiting around. Nick had a real nice homestand. Drove in a bunch of runs.
He was 11 for 22 on the stand. And there's ball 1.
That's 500.
Quick calculations say that you're right. And he had 9 RBIs on the homestand. Castellanos is 0 for 3 in this game. Pulled right at the third baseman, and a leaping play, Beltre. Inning over, no runs, a walk. They leave one. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Little mini leap by the 37-year-old Adrian Beltre.
He skied.
Look at it. He think he got hops. Telling Adrian Beltre, look at me, Andrews.
Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. There's Big D. We are in Arlington as the Tigers are trailing the Rangers going to the bottom of the 8th. Drew Verhagen back out there facing Mike Napoli. Odor and then Chirinos to follow. 6-2 Texas. Napoli shoots one in the air toward left field. Upton coming over. One gone. Second inning of work for Verhagen. There's Rougned Odor.
I know Drew Verhagen wants to be a starter in the major leagues, but I think the Tigers probably view him long-term as a bullpen piece, and why not? I mean, in 2015, he was outstanding out of the Tigers bullpen.
I agree, and he's the guy, as Brad said before the game today, can come into the 7th inning, get you some ground balls if you need it. In fact, he got a double play ball in the 7th.
That was one of the things that he did very well in 2015. He threw lots of ground balls. I think 74% of his outs were on the ground that year out of the bullpen.
Swing and a miss by Odor.
And for a guy that throws 96 to 97, and to get that many ground balls is uncanny, I guess I'd say.
I'd agree.
He does appear to have a little bit more velocity when he's working out of the bullpen. I don't remember him touching 96 very often as a starter.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're right. But they don't do it consciously, though. I mean, guys don't think about reserving something in the tank for later in the game. They just kind of go about their business that way, I think.
Swing and a miss. Odor is down on strikes. Mack will throw down to complete the strikeout. 2 gone. First strikeout for Verhagen.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is brought to you by Miller Lite. And we told you coming in that these Rangers, they can hit the ball in the ballpark. As a matter of fact, 178 home runs as a team. And Big Joey Gallo, he connected for one earlier today over the 404 sign against the traffic the opposite way. That's a lot of power for a left-handed batter.
Now Chirinos with 2 outs. Rangers got 2 in the first and then 1 in the second, third, and fourth innings. Building their lead. Action in the Rangers bullpen. You've got John Mariñez warming up, and you've got Alex Claudio warming up. That'll catch the inside corner as Chirinos thought it was inside. Not so. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 now. Chirinos. Tigers in the 9th inning will have Hicks, Martinez, McCann due up. It'll pop up left side of the infield. It'll be Castellanos, and a 1-2-3 inning for Verhagen. Let's go to the 9th. Upton with a home run got the Tigers off and running early in the first inning, but since been all Texas. Gallo is also a homer in this game, and the Tigers now down to their final 3 outs as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And the new pitcher is on now. It'll be Alex Claudio.
And Claudio having a good year. He's been in 52 prior games to this. 7 holds, an ERA under 2.5, a whip just a shade over 1. Not a strikeout guy, and pitches to a lot of contact. He's only walked 13, so he's around the plate.
Not a save situation here, but he's converted all 4 that he's had since the All-Star break. And here is Hicks to lead things off as we go to the 9th. He floats one in for a strike, 0-1.
69 miles an hour with that breaking ball.
0 for 3 for Hicks. Ripped to left, a base hit, and the Tigers get the leadoff man on. First hit of the night for Hicks. He'll bring up Victor Martinez. 7th hit of the ball game now for the Tigers. That is their first hit since the 5th inning. And V-Marks looks at a strike, 0-1. Victor 1 for 3, singled in his first at bat. Otherwise, a fly ball and a ground out. Strike called on the inside part of the plate, and now it's 0-2. Victor with a crooked look on his face after that last call. Lifted in the air to center field, straight at Robinson for the first out of the inning. Hicks will retreat.
And Claudio's got a pretty good changeup, and he throws the changeup a lot. I mean, more than 25% does he throw that changeup. His top fastball only about 88 miles an hour.
10th best ERA among relievers in the American League.
Getting it done. You don't have to be a hard thrower to get it done. Claudio's proof of that.
Here is McCann. James is 1 for 3, including a double play ball back in the 2nd. And he floats one in for a strike.
It's almost too slow to wait back on.
It is. I mean, he's thrown one at 69, one at 71. Oh, man. Change up at 71 again, and now it is 0-2. You're so used to guys coming into the 9th inning throwing, what, 96, 97, 98? Claudio getting it done in the upper 60s, low 70s.
Got a funky delivery, too.
Did he go? No, he did not.
And really, he's got one of the funkiest deliveries in the big leagues. Kind of looks like Eric Hosmer, doesn't he, to me?
A little bit, yeah, facially.
Yeah, resembles him.
Hosmer's probably a better hitter.
You know that, right?
And he might throw harder than Claudio, too.
He does, probably.
Rip to center field. That's going to be a base hit. 1-2 single up the middle, and now the Tigers have something going here. 2 on with 1 out.
Well, you wonder if Miguel Cabrera is starting to stir in the Tigers dugout or clubhouse, whether he's available for to pinch hit.
Good at bat there by McCann. That is his 2nd hit of the night, and it'll bring up Presley now. Alex 0 for 3, so he is due. One more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. That ball seemed wide. 0-1 on Presley. Swing and a miss.
He doesn't really give you a whole lot to hit, man. You really have to concentrate in trying to get something up in the strike zone against Claudio. You know he's not going to blow it by you, but still, there's enough deception that with his body motion and his arm speed, it still allows guys to get out on that front foot prematurely.
Good stop there by Chirinos. Rangers lead 6-2. We're in the 9th, 2 on with 1 out for the Tigers. They need another base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Presley goes down on strikes, and there are 2 gone. It's going to be up to Iglesias. Oh for 3 for Iglesias tonight. Lined out to first his last time up. Ball 1. Should he reach Machado on deck? Would have been Kinsler's old spot, but he was ejected from the game. And that'll dive in for a strike. You can just tell, even by the takes the Tigers have in this inning, just very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything from 69 to 73 miles an hour with that changeup. It's not easy to stay back on. Then he throws you that fastball at 87, and it looks like it's about 105 miles an hour.
Well, it's 1-2 now. Tigers down to the final strike. Here comes the crowd, better than 21,000. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball, base hit right field. They're going to hold the runner at third base. Iglesias keeps it alive with a single the other way. And now the tying run comes to the plate.
It's a nice job there by Iglesias. I mean, he waited. He basically didn't even stride. He knew he was going to get something soft and waited long enough to slice it the opposite way.
So they're loaded up now for Machado. Well, Jeff Bannister is pacing in that Tex dugout. Dixon had a walk in the 8th. And a strike call. Well, Burnett is back up in their bullpen. Machado trying to keep it going. Ball 1 low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Wilson throwing in the Tigers bullpen in case the Tigers able to tie this one up or take the lead. Foul back out of play. Now the count is 1-2. "20 pitches thrown in this inning by Claudio. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Rangers win game 1 in this 3-game series. Final score is 6-2. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios. John Keating with Tigers Live postgame.